What's up, everybody? Happy Memorial Day right here from the Heat Ratio Sports Network. I'm Dave Gloeckner, and that's Tech Money. What's up, brother?
What's going on? Happy Memorial Weekend here in the States.
Yes, it is. Thanks to all those that served. Thanks for all, everything everyone's done for us to be here today to bring you some great content. We're here, MLB Smoke Shop, talking MLB's best daily bets of the day. I got one I love. Tech's got one he loves, and then we're going to throw you a few leans. Hey, I'll lead it off. Tech, this team has just been mashing the ball, and I just can't get off the fact that they're not slowing down. They put up 12 again yesterday, and that's the Boston Red Sox. Got a little luck last night with their Celtics coming through late, blowing a huge lead, but holding on because Jimmy Buckets pulls up for a brick three. But, hey, this is baseball, and those Red Sox are rolling, and they get Taylor Wells today, or Tyler Wells. Last three games, 5.27 ERA. Tech, it's almost your trifecta. Under 40% ground ball rate at 36. Under 20% K rate at 16. What's going to stop them from hitting him again? I just feel the Red Sox are in that groove. Last 2 weeks, leads the league in slugging, OPS, batting average, weighted runs created. You name it, they're at the top, batting 324 in that span, slugging 584. They're a tough team right now. And then you look at the O's, last 2 weeks against lefty pitching, 22nd batting average, 22nd slugging, 22nd weighted runs created plus, weighted on base average. They face Rich Hill today. Lefty seems to kind of be their kryptonite. So I just love this matchup. I think we're going to get a good value here. 170 is a little pricey, but not when you can see the gaps that I see.
I can't argue it. And you know what? I think you get Boston at home, right? So
you do.
You're going to get that. I think you might have folks that haven't slept yet and still have their alcohol, their blood BAC level up a little bit. They're going to pump it with some breakfast, and they're going right to this game. Wouldn't you? I think we were doing that here in Philadelphia back in 2008. So, when things were fun, or some of those years, you know what I mean? Or sorry, not back in 2008, but some of those years before. I was thinking about the 2008 Phillies is why I said that.
Yeah.
But, hey, I'm with you, man. I can't argue that play. And it's Fenway. It's Fenway. You get the home park there. I think the weather's going to be good, too. So, I know you looked into it. I can't negate that. It is Tyler Wells. And I just think, I know it sounds silly, but you get that Boston vibe from last night, like you just clearly described. And I think it flows into this game.
It's worth something, right? Like if you're betting, that's worth a little something.
It works in that city. That's a special city.
It is. And then the last thing I did focus on is batting average, right? They faced Rich Hill, 58 at bats. They're batting 184 off him. So those really don't hit this guy. Their top guys, Mullins 2 for 7, Hayes 1 for 7, Mancini 1 for 5, Mountcastle 0 for 5. You're sitting there with a 4 for 24 out of the meat of your lineup, the 2 through 5, 1 through 4, depending which way they go today. So another good reason. I just think they don't hit Hill. Boston's been mashing. So let's go. Let's get yours.
I like that. I like it. I was just trying to quickly see if there's any large sample sizes with the batters, but there's a couple hits here that so there is some Boston bats that I've seen Wells, and it doesn't look too bad. So let's see if they can keep it going here. I'm with you.
Yeah, man.
Now the one I'm on, hey, I think the hat gives it away. I'm looking at the Guardians, but I'm actually looking at the team total runs for the first 5, which is over 2.5. It's slightly juiced at -130 at DraftKings. But I like the fact that they're going against Heasley. And here's what I didn't even really notice, and I had to dig into this, and what got me excited. He's actually been getting very lucky versus what we have seen, and it still hasn't looked that great. I think in his last game, he's put 10 runners on base, and he's walked 12 batters in 13 innings. He's just walking a lot of people. And with that basic thought, I looked into that and I said, wow, I wonder what his xFIP number is. And I wonder what his projected, that Sierra number would be for this guy. I wonder how high it is. And here's what's crazy. Like, it was way higher than what I expected. I was like, whoa, wait, this doesn't even make sense. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to think too much about it. I was like, I probably won't be able to explain it well, but that's when I know it's probably going to work. His xFIP is up at 6.81. I think that's the highest I've attacked the pitcher this year. Basically, for people out there, that just says that he's lucky. if you go to fangraphs.com and kind of do a search on XFIP, there's an article out there where they broke it down. And I believe if you're higher than 4.5 or something, you're labeled as awful. And awful is the worst category they have. And this guy's basically 2 full runs or more worse than that in the XFIP. But that correlates to this. We just talked about how he's let 10 runners on base, walk 12 batters. If you go back and dig into it, he's gotten a couple double plays that got him out of that jam. He's been just very, very lucky. Now today, he's going to come into a hitter's park. It's warm, and I believe the wind's blowing out a little bit. It's probably not a healthy spot for us to say, ooh, let's see if this guy's going to turn it around here. So then I thought, well, there's a stat out there that I like to look at, which is the Sierra. And I thought, well, it's got to be high, right? If it's ERAs in the 4s, maybe the Sierra's at 5, one higher. His Sierra's at 7.3, and his ERA's at 4.73. So what we're really saying here, guys, is that they're actually projecting his ERA to jump up as he plays here, not just by a little bit, by a significant amount. That's a lot. We're talking almost 3 full runs. It's about 3.4 jump, or almost 3 full runs on from an ERA to a Sierra correlation, and you have that XFIP up at 6.81. Now the batted balls in play, 250. I wish I could see it much worse, but remember, this guy's walking 20.6% this season. I know it's only 13 innings, but now I just feel like, is this the game you're going to tell me he's going to turn around and go throw a one-hitter and not walk anybody? I'm not putting my chips on that. I'd rather put my chips on Guardians, get some power behind the plate here, and take care of it. Ramirez, Naylor, if they're in some of that left side, all you have to do is walk 1 or 2 people, which he's doing, and you get 1 power bat to hit this ball. He hasn't been striking anyone out, 11%. Again, 20% walk rate, 45% hard hit rate, 1.35 home runs per 9. So he's definitely in a situation where he's got to prove himself today, but I just don't think he's going to be able to prove himself today. Can I be wrong? Of course. Do things happen? Of course they do. I just don't feel it here. And here's the other thing. On the Cleveland side, I don't know why I didn't realize this. As a team, Gloeck, 16.6% K rate, the lowest in the major league, and basically the lowest by 1.5 behind the Cardinals. That is very low. As a team, they're walking 8.2%. We want to see a team walking near 10. They're almost there. But remember, this guy does nothing but walk people. He's only been lucky because he's been lucky, period. It's almost like I'm measuring it as if for this guy, when does the luck run out? I think today you get a situation like that. On base 318 for Cleveland, WOBA 320, ISO 152, team batting average 253. These are numbers in 2022 that are good. They work. They'll help you out, especially against this pitcher. And that's why I'm on the Guardians over 2.5 runs first 5. It's a little juiced at 130, but I can see why at DraftKings. But I'm confident it can happen.
Yeah, I like it, man. So Jose Ramirez has been matching the ball lately. I know 2 days ago he had like 7 RBIs. The guy is he's going to be a tough out for Heasley. And probably pitch around him, walk him, like you said, put guys on base. Love Naylor behind him. Miller, Quan has been a little slower lately, but I mean, I could see him breaking out again. So I like the pick. I'll tell you one other angle I like in that game. I kind of like the over total for the whole game.
Yeah.
9.5. Zach Plesac on the other side stinks. He's another guy that throws up those numbers that you love to attack. I mean, I think his K rate's about 14, 15. Yeah. But more importantly, the Royals have been kind of waking up a little bit lately. In the last 2 weeks, I mean, they're 7th in batting average, 10th in on-base percentage. They're 10th in slugging even. So 14th in homers, they've hit 14. So they're coming around. They were like, I want to say they were 28th earlier in the year in it. So Merrifield's starting to hit a little bit. Bobby Witt, they haven't got Salvi going as much yet, but I could see a situation where we see both teams go over that total. So, just a little lean, but I love the Guardians play. Heasley he's trash, man. He's dumpster juice.
Yeah, no good. He's been lucky. That the stats just clearly say he's been lucky. So it should be in our favor here. And I'm with you. I'm with you. I do agree. I skipped the one. I'm with you. Plesac's numbers are not good. You have to expect him to just continue that trend. and you mentioned it. So I like that over. I did see they moved it up to 9.5, but you're getting a hitter's park. You're getting the weather. So, hey, for you guys that like hits and runs and home runs, it could be the game where the action's at.
Yeah, and neither bullpen's great. I looked at that too. So you always need that in over. So another day, I think Kansas City allowed 6 earned runs in their bullpen. So you got a chance to attack that angle too, because neither of these pitchers are going pretty deep in this game.
One more thing is I see it just got published at a site I like to look at. The Guardians do have 5.32 implied run total. It's probably one of the highest out there today, and I'm seeing a 90-degree temps, man, and the wind blowing out with tremendous. So we might get some of that hot weather today. So let's go. Let's do this.
I love it, man. You've been on fire with your picks on this show. So let's get number 3, man. I love it. I love it. I'm definitely tailing that one. Let me give you one lean. I give you a dog every week here. I'm 1-1 so far with the dogs. We always they bark, and you get good implied odds. You get good value. You only got to really hit dogs at like maybe 40%, and you're going to make money. Let's go out to Colorado today. The Rockies plus 125 against Pablo Lopez from the Miami Marlins. Lopez started this year on fire, but guess what? They've lost the last 3 games he's pitched. In his last 2, he's let up 7 earned in 10 innings. Other things I don't love, they lost 4 out of 5 that he's pitched in May alone. The Marlins overall on the road, 9-14. Colorado, much better home team, 14-11. But here's the key that I'm really looking at, Tech. Lopez really relies on his changeup. He throws it almost as much as his fastball. Those 2 pitches together make up 70% of his arsenal. Mm-hmm. Well, the third best team against the changeup in the whole majors are the Colorado Rockies. They just mash it. Their weighted runs created is a plus 11.7, sorry. So they're way over. They hit that pitch. They also hit the curveball really well. It's about his 4th best pitch. I think if they can wait and they can just, look for that pitch, I think they're going to exploit some opportunities. Feltner, on the other hand, kind of the Rockies starter, young kid. I think he's 10th in their organization. They just brought him up. He's kind of a mystery. It's weird because he's got an ERA at 5.4. His FIP's 3.14. So he got a 2-run less FIP. I think it's because the K rate, he's at 31.8. That's way too high in my opinion. I mean, I saw the guy pitch once. Maybe he's doing a little smoke and mirrors, but it's enough for me to say, hey, there's some regression happening here with Feltner where we could get him coming back down, Lopez going back up, and we got a team better at home, one worse on the road. I like the factors here. I would lean towards the Rockies as my dog of the day.
I like that. And when you mentioned some of the, here's what I like. I like that for this angle, the Marlins are kind of flying into Colorado. There could be altitude adjustment, the travel adjustment. That may favor less maybe in the MLB versus maybe an NFL game. I don't know. I'm not that much of an expert on that, but I do think there's a little bit of adjustment. So I'll use that as an excuse today to support them. And then I just had to take a quick look at the Plate IQ tool, which is available for free at rotogrinders.com. I'll mention it there because it's not my tool, obviously, but it's there. And I look at Pablo Lopez, and outside of the various fastballs, which we're aware of, he throws a changeup, and I think you were touching on some of his pitch arsenal, 33.78% to the left and 32.15% to the right. So you should expect changeups. And when I look at batters on the other side, just a quick peek, CJ Cron, WOBA, ex-WOBA, ISO, hard percentage, they're pretty decent numbers there. Ryan McMahon, same thing. I'm trying to fly through. Randall Grichuk, same thing. Iglesias, smaller sample size with Iglesias, but he's doing it. Elias Diaz, small sample size, but he's crushing the changeup. So there's some guys here that they may have not seen the changeup often, but when they have, they've had a piece of it. And being in the Rockies' home advantage of the altitude, and we expect the ball to fly, maybe the Rockies do get on Pablo Lopez here today, and maybe you just found that little niche in there for for viewers out there for a dog play. And I'll say this: if you're going to take them at plus 125, I got to come in there with the -1 angle. So there's got to be a book out there with -1, and there is. You can get Rockies DraftKings -1 plus 185.
That's pretty nice.
If they're going to win, they're going to win by 1. You get a push, but if you want to look sexy for your spouse and say, look what I did today while you're at the bar later for Memorial Day, you take a -1 and say, hey, here's our beer money and order us a higher end draft right there right now, right?
I love it. I love it. And that's what we do here. I love your angle on that.
I like it.
I looked at the runs, but 2.5 runs is just a lot in the first 5 for me. You know, I love it with the Guardians, obviously, but attacking a guy like Lopez, who's sitting there and he was really good in April. I think 2.5. I just would rather take the game line. So that's where my lean is. But yeah, I'm excited. You know what? I'm plugging that one in. You got me on. I'm playing both money line -1. Let's go.
Right. And I'm seeing a quick stat here. I can't grasp the entire paragraph, but it's mentioned about Pablo Lopez recently allowing more than 300 runs for the first time in 2022 off the long ball. So I don't know if they mean maybe into this part of the season or whatnot, but whatever that is, I don't have time to read into the whole thing, but it's basically talking about some regression he's faced this year versus the past. You don't even want to read a sentence like that going in the Coors Field. That's just not good. He could be susceptible to giving up another long ball or two here. Against the Rockies, just being in the high altitude, you know.
He up 3
against Tampa last game. There you go, and then skipped the game and 1 prior. So
and in the month of May, I mean, he's had 3 games with 3 runs or more.
Yes,
I don't know. Tampa's not really a mash unit either. To let up 3 homers to them is not.
That was at Tampa, Pitchers Park. So that's interesting. Yeah, I like it here. This is probably a spot where Pablo could roll over.
And that's what we're looking for, especially with the matchup of the changeup. And that's why we dig into it all for you to maybe make some money and enjoy the Memorial Day, just like Tek said. Hey, man, you got anything else that's percolating, or are you good?
No, I'm gonna just keep it simple. It's hard to get these over 2.5 runs when I think they're gonna happen. But this is a spot you just have to attack against Heasley because he's been lucky. Look, if he comes out today, if it doesn't work today, odds are he's looking like some stud, and we're gonna be like, what just happened?
Yeah, you're fine. Heasley is not going to do that. I mean, 2.5 still happened. I had him 2.5 yesterday with the Red Sox against our boy there, Bruce Zimmerman, finally coming back to earth.
Yeah.
So the 2.5
finally coming back.
Yeah, the 2.5's hit, man. So it happens, and I think you got a good spot today. So that wraps it up for us today on the Smoke Shop. We're definitely trying to hit here every Sunday. You know, we'll get more as we get rolling here, just trying to find the hot angles. But right now, roll with us. 5-2 overall going into today, giving you 3 more picks. Let's get it. Make some money. Watch the heat ratio. Follow me, D Gloeck, and that man, Tek Money on Twitter, as we always give out our picks. But until next week, Tek, it was great once again.
You too, Gloeck. Have a good day. Have a good Memorial weekend, everyone.